We also look forward to these guys giving us their fantasy draft picks. First time we're doing this. These are the rules to the Tennis Channel Roland Garros fantasy draft. Everybody gets to pick 8 men and 8 women, our analysts do. Only 5 of the 8 can be top 16 seeds. Points awarded depending upon how deep each of your picks goes in the tournament, and bonus points if your long shots go deep. We don't want to get too far into the weeds, but we'll keep things honest as the tournament goes along. And so, Paul, won't you start us off with Team Anacone? Who you got?
Well, I've got the usual suspects up there. You got a lot of guys that you know who are going to win, which is Rafa and Novak. And guys, let's see who the rest of my list is. Let's let everyone know.
Are you saying that because you don't remember until the
No,
graphic
I just
comes
want to see which ones I should talk about because I have a limited period of time. Of course, we have Juan Martín del Potro coming back, a fan favorite. But the guy that I think you have to really keep your eye on that people aren't talking that much about, Stan Wawrinka hasn't been mentioned very often, guys. I know he's recovering from injury. He has won here. He's very comfortable, so keep your eye on him.
Grigor Dimitrov's had a miserable. He played qualies last week.
Yeah, but incredibly talented, knows how to move on the clay, but the qualies thing doesn't help him too much. Let's look at my women's list here. Ash Barty, huge favorite of how well she's done this year and how confident she is at the big tournaments. Joe Conta coming off the win. And Victoria Azarenka, you never know how well she can play because, you know, we're just a little bit concerned about her health and the fact that, yes, she hasn't played a ton of tennis, but the rest of the usual suspects in there.
So just to emphasize, the bottom 3 picks are the one where you're going to probably see some difference on all the teams because those have to be outside the top 16 seeds. Who's on Team Davenport?
Yeah, well, I went for the favorites for the men. You have to go with Rafa and Novak and Roger team. I had a Tsitsipas on my list. For Pella and Cuevas, they're amongst the leaders in clay court wins, and that's why I picked them. Stan, he's won here before. I like his section of the draw also. So I feel pretty good with my picks. On the women's side, I went heavy on the Americans. I really like Sloane, Serena, and I also like Madison's chances and their section of the draw. It's tough, but a lot of winnable matches for them. Halep, she's my favorite to win the tournament. Marketa Vondrousova, she's had such a great year, so many wins. She's in that section with Kerber, who has not played much because of the ankle injury. She didn't look healthy in practice here. And Elise Mertens picked her. She didn't have a great clay court season, but she's in a very wide open section of the draw that someone's going to get through there, either Mertens or Sevastova or Pavlyuchenkova. I went Mertens. We'll see. That was my kind of roll the dice one on that one.
But Guido Pella, a very savvy pick. More clay court wins than anybody in men's tennis this year. Who is on Team Wertheim?
I took a bit of the same strategy as LD here. I have Zion Williams.
No,
going. Wrong draft. I went with the favorites on the men's side, and then you mentioned Stan, former champion here. I think all 3 of us picked Stanislas number 24. How about Benoit Paire, a little local
Like that.
playing this week?
Pop your collar, John.
Yeah, exactly. I need a Captain Obvious look. Diego Schwartzman, remember, was the only player last year to take a set off of Rafa, and then, my top 5 are fairly boring. On the women's side, I have Pliskova, who's just coming off that Rome title. It's interesting, I don't think any of us picked the top seed. Naomi Osaka, I don't think made it on anyone's list. I also had Vondrousova, who's a nice teenage player from the Czech Republic.
Is that how you say it? I never get it right.
We just talk about the 19 next to Mugu's name. Yep. I still have a hard time adjusting to that, but that is called buying on the dip. She's got to get better than that.
Sakari just made the semifinals in Rome.
And she's what, Osaka's 3rd round, I think.
In that top section? Very top section, exactly.
All right, we will keep all these guys honest, plus the rest of our on-air analyst staff is also picking draft teams, and you can follow along on tennis.com and also on all of our social media channels as the tournament unfolds. Speaking of